I always hope when a group that I'm with goes to Rainbow Acres will come back, and because of their experience at Rainbow, will bring some of that joy and that community and that transparency back to our life in our church here back at home.
One thing I was concerned about is I was not in control of any planning.
Even with all of the overwhelmingly positive reviews from people who have gone in the past, it's a little daunting.
I thought it was going to be kind of difficult to get to know the ranchers there.
I didn't quite know what to expect. Like, I didn't exactly know what the camp was going to be like, and kind of like how I would fit in at the camp and how I would be able to interact.
Just being unsure of how to interact, and I was just nervous that I would mess up somehow.
Working with this population and not knowing exactly what you're going to be doing anyways, it's a little intimidating.
I would say the thing that most concerned me was when we first got there were scorpions, and I was really worried about that for a little bit.
Whether or not the work is going to be more than I could physically do, and there are options for lots of different abilities and temperaments and all of those things.
We had 3 days that were pretty much the same. We'd wake up, we'd have breakfast, we'd go and to the prayer circle, we'd lead a couple songs, do a little devotional, and then ask the group for prayers, prayer requests, and then we'd get to work. And we'd work for a couple hours. And then we'd go to lunch with the whole campus. And then after lunch, we'd go back to work for a few hours. And then we'd have some time to clean up. And then we were separated out into our into different houses that the ranchers live in, and we would share dinner with them, and then maybe there'd be an evening activity like bingo or karaoke. Or something like that, and then we'd go back to our little residence area and kind of tuck in for the night, kind of do our own little group things.
One of the parts about the trips that I really enjoy is the debriefing afterward. Every night our group gets together and we talk about what happened, and Sean does this on every trip. And what did we see? What did we experience? Who did we meet? Who did we get to know? Where did we see God?
I think I was a bit surprised to learn just how diverse the ranchers were. I knew that on some level, that they would all be different from one another. But I think just really kind of realizing how similar I was with the ranchers, or how ranchers and non-ranchers are so alike.
I learned about a lot of the kind of music they like and what kind of foods they like or where they're from.
So I learned that this one girl was sent to multiple different boarding schools, and there's this one in Idaho that was meant for troubled teens, but it turned out to be almost cult-like, and it was really awful. So she was talking about that a lot.
I learned that they're all really kind and really welcoming people. So I said that I didn't quite know what to expect or like how I would be able to like kind of fit in with like the camp dynamics. But all of them were like really friendly, and they were always like, "Oh hi, like come sit next to me for lunch." And I was able to have like a lot of really cool conversations with them.
There's a sense of community there that is a sense of belonging, and that if you come, you're welcomed into that community, and as far as everybody's concerned, you belong.
There's this other person who was in the Olympics, and he won 17 gold medals, I believe, and he participated 18 times so far, and that was amazing.
Yeah, they're like really normal people, yeah.
You know you love me, I know you care. Just like we never, and I'll be there. You are my love, you are my heart, and we will never, ever, ever be apart.
You know, you have ranchers ranging from almost nonverbal to even questioning, is this a rancher or a volunteer? I'm not really sure. And that's also not all that important. Yeah, everyone's treated the same way and accepted for who they are. And it just makes that place that much more amazing.
Okay, one thing that I learned about the ranchers that I was really impressed by was that they're all so friendly, and like one of them, he knew the names and the birthdays of every single person there, and that was just so crazy. Like, I want to be like that.
There's a form of beauty that just can't be captured in an image or in a recording. But when you see it, you know it. And I think even if you don't know it, when you see it, you'll know it, you'll recognize it. Like Michael's face, not just when he wins at bingo or when he's inviting you to eat with him, but all the time. A face that just communicates pure and absolute joy.
Well, a highlight for me was being in the car with our 4 teenage girls that went with us, getting to do karaoke, sing along, listening to their music, getting to know them better. So that was absolutely a connection that I made. And then getting to know the team in general, I got to have some good conversations with Paige. I got to have some good conversations with Garrett, just getting to know everybody.
So it's been a while since I've been around the people from the church, and a lot's changed since I've been around.
I had a really good time getting to know Paige, because like we hadn't really talked much, but I felt like I got to know her better, and also like Pastor Karen, like cause she has like a sense of humor, and that's cool.
It's nice getting to know Paige and Pastor Karen more, because I didn't really talk to them much before.
Well, I really found surprising how easily I was able to get along with a lot of the adults, because I feel like a lot of times we're separated by like adults and youth at church. So like going on a trip like that, I was able to talk to like the different adults and like be able to just do like different things than the normal.
I learned that Pastor Karen really loves different kinds of music. It's really fun to bond over that.
The 4 girls that went on our trip, like they've grown up so much, and it shows. You know, their leadership really sprung out on this trip, and that was amazing to see. And then getting to know Paige a little bit better, having some deep conversations. It was truly an amazing experience getting to know all these people that I haven't seen in a long time.
I just got to know a lot of people in general a lot more deeper. Like I got to know Pastor Karen a lot better. I got to learn all about her family and that. And then I got to learn about Natalie a little bit more than I normally would have. And I got to learn about Paige as well, and that was a lot of fun.
This was my first time really interacting with Pastor Karen, and it was amazing getting to know her, and she's willing to try anything, and she's a go-getter, and that was just an amazing spirit to have in our group.
I never knew that Natalie has never jumped off a swing set before.
For example, Pastor Karen and I, we both drove down together since we were coming down late. So I was able to have a lot of really cool conversations with her and just be able to kind of get to know her on a deeper level, which I thought was really cool.
And of course, my parents, that's always pretty cool too.
I think one thing I was surprised about was how nourished I was going to be by going on this trip. I think being open and saying yes to God just really opened things up for me to receive in ways that can't be planned for or anything.
I got a glimpse of what life might be like if life were not defined by achievement and accolades, professional status, or even a diagnosis, but by the simple ambition of living in the moment and finding fulfillment in that.
Something I learned from this trip is that, well, we already know that everybody's made in God's image, and that there are several reasons people can be different, but that doesn't make them any less human.
I would say on the trip, I kind of got to be a little bit closer to my Christian faith, and just being able to communicate that with other people and be able to talk about that with other people. And when I go on trips like this, where you're able to kind of discuss that and have prayer circle like we did, that's the moments where I kind of realize I really enjoy being a Christian, and I really enjoy being able to talk to people about my faith and to realize that God loves us no matter what.
The experience changed me because I've gotten to know and see Jesus in so many ways.
When you get out of your comfort zone and out of your day-to-day life, just how valuable that is. And so I need to do more of that.
But we had three days of that. And the change that I saw in myself just from those 3 days couldn't have been more evident than our trip to the Grand Canyon on the 4th day.
My favorite part of the trip was going to the Grand Canyon. It was very pretty. I hadn't been there since I was a little kid, so it was nice being able to appreciate it while I'm older.
We were off campus all day long, and I know I wasn't the only one to experience this.
One thing that I learned about myself was that I don't need to be so worried about interacting with people, I guess. Because everybody was just so accepted for who they are, and so I learned that it's okay to just be myself, and that's cool.
While we were at the Grand Canyon, I had to, and others in our group as well have expressed this, I had to hold myself back from saying hello to everybody on the hiking trail. And there's a lot to unpack there. Why am I holding back? Why is it such a faux pas to greet people on the trail? That's what we've been doing for the last 3 days at Rainbow Acres with all these ranchers. So excited to see us every time. And we're holding back when we're in the general public. Why? Why would I limit myself? Why would I censor myself in public when I was so free and open in this other setting? And I'm still working on it. I'm still working through it. When I said it was a transformative experience, I meant it. I'm still being transformed by that experience.
And another layer of this is that if I'm no longer the most important person in the world or in the room or in that place, I'm no longer serving out of a sense of superiority or obligation or even guilt. I'm serving because that's what I was created to do, and that's where I find my fulfillment.
I love seeing other people experience Rainbow Acres for the first time, maybe, and see what God is doing through that community in the lives of those of us who come to visit.
Immediately coming from that experience, I was excited to know that we were booking a week next year. I intend to be on that trip.
If someone was reluctant to come to Rainbow Acres, I would just encourage them to try it anyways. That your fears of or your concerns, I think we all come into any kind of new experience with trepidation, but once you're there, it is one of the most welcoming, supportive, inclusive environments you'll ever experience, and I think it's well worth any inconvenience or concern that you might have about going.
I would say definitely go for it. It's a life-changing experience, and you get to learn new skills, and yeah, it's really worth it.
As a teacher with plenty of free time in the summer, I've even started considering maybe I'd do a second trip too, even if it was just by myself.
I would definitely go again. Because it was just such a cool experience. So I want to go back to learn even more and to help grow the amount of volunteers and stuff from people here, because I feel like it'd be a really good experience for everyone.
I would definitely go back to Rainbow Acres. People there were so nice. They made me feel so welcome. And when we were leaving, I was walking down the stairs and I had one of the ranchers greet me that was in my house for dinner, and she was so happy, but she was so sad to have me leave, but she was looking forward to seeing me again next year.
I was not reluctant at all to go to Rainbow Acres. I was more reluctant to come home.
Yes, I would go again to Rainbow Acres because I just really liked all the dynamics, and I want to be able to see all of the people that I got to meet and just be able to talk to them again.
I think if you're reluctant to go on this trip, I totally get it. Something I might say to that person is, if you want your vegetables wrapped up in candy or dessert and get nourished that way, you get the vegetables and you get the candy, go on this trip.
This is really nerve-wracking.
That's the part I'm going to put in. This is really nerve-wracking.
Joseph, hurry.
Can you close the door almost all the way, Joseph?